Good morning. It's Laura from McNeely Garden Studios going live to show you some fun things today. Super cold outside today, and that's going to be reflected in our art. I've got my fireplace going on, my coffee going on, my warm clothes going on. And I thought that I would tell you guys some of the things that I do. I have come to realize that I am very guilty of keeping myself a little bit of a secret. And that's not serving you. You don't know all the things that I can do to help you and to help your art and to help your state of mind. So I decided this year in 2026 that I would share with you a little bit more. So one of the things that I do, and I have a little membership, it's a super tiny thing. It's no hardly commitment at all. It's just fun. It's just for fun. It's giving yourself about 15 minutes a month, literally, to do one. If you wanted to do more, you would take more time, but it's called the Snail Mail Art Card of the Month Club. And every month I come up with a design, a done for you design, and you get some inspiration on how to paint it. Of course, you can paint it however you want. But it's 15 minutes for yourself to be creative and all the benefits of being creative, all the nurturing and the self-care and the mind space and all the things you get from just expressing yourself creatively. But that's not all. That's not the best part. The best part is, in my opinion, is you get to put a stamp on it and send it off to a friend. So I have been kind of doing these in multiples so that I'm starting to get a little stockpile, which I really love. I enjoy the process of creating them, but then I get the fun of knowing that I already have a personalized, beautiful card that I can send to a friend for whatever occasion there is. So this is what I do once a month. I decide on a design, and I create a regular copy size paper that is emailed to you. There's no getting on social media and scrolling and getting lost and forgetting what you were going to do. It is simply emailed to your address. So you look on there and it's a real easy tagline. It says that this month's snail mail is ready. That's it. It's not easy to miss. It's real easy to find. And it's very short, to the point. Click it and print it. And what you will end up with, this one is not completely finished. A lot of times there's a pro tip or a reference photo over on the side, but it does have the title of the card so that it will be searchable in the future. It does have a supply list of things that are helpful. You don't have to do it the way I do it. I do a lot of things in watercolor. You may decide to use markers or colored pencils or whatever. And that is okay. It is your art. That's the whole point of it. But what I wanted to show you is that I have gotten a pad of paper that's twice this size, and I cut it in half so that this is then a 4x6. So it's 4x12, I think, that I cut in half. Good morning, Lori. And so I cut that in half. And when I print this onto my regular copy size paper, it comes out, the design comes out exactly the right size. so that I just put my watercolor paper on top of some kind of a light source. It could be your computer screen, it could be a lampshade, it could be a window on a bright sunny day. I use a light box. Everybody's different, but it's very simple to get it on there. Or you can paint it right on the copy paper and use it as mixed media and paint it on your card. So today we're going to be doing Baby It's Cold Outside, and we're going to be talking about the Snail Mail of the Art Club a little bit more. So I'm going to turn you down to my table, and I think you'll be able to see. Let me get these things where you can actually see it. I do have kind of a pile of we started this in June, and so I'm going to show you what we've been doing since then. I do have a frog in my throat. I can't seem to lodge. So anyway, I can't really decide what colors I want to do this, although I think I want to do the sweater itself in something light, because it didn't occur to me until just a few moments ago that I probably should have used some masking fluid for the snowflake, because it could have been white, but I'm going to do it in a very light color and go from there. And then we can have a dark snowflake. It's fine. So we're just going to go along here, and we're going to use a dry brush and watercolor paints, and we're going to do this sweater. And you could use this, you could write anything you want on it. I wrote, Baby It's Cold Outside, but you can do anything you want. It is kind of cold and flu season. We have a lot of sickness in our area, so you might could use it as a get well card. I have used these designs on wrapping paper and during Christmas and gift cards, bookmarks. I mean, these designs that I'm creating for you are just, I have seen them be used for so many wonderful things, and people just love getting them in the mail. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit of magenta to this pink, and I'm going to kind of put it down here on the body part of the sweater and give it a little shadow. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit more right around the collar. Now, anytime that you're using watercolor, if you want it to bleed into the other colors around it, then make sure that you're using it wet. But you might decide that you want to not have it. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm just using it dry right on the page. I'm just picking up some color from what I've already put down here. There we go. And we're just kind of giving a suggestion as the ribbing of the sweater there. So the Art Card of the Month Club is very affordable. It's just a lot of fun that comes in. You know, remember when we used to wait for some fun mail to come in the mailbox? And then we grew up and it was just bills. Not fun at all. But this way you can be sending something more fun in the mail, and you know, you and a friend could join together and send each other cards if you wanted. I've used them for invitations. I've used them for get well and happy holidays and different things. So, all right. How's that looking so far? That's good. All right. In fact, I think I can get you down a little bit closer. How was that? Can you see that better? I'm sorry to wiggle you around so much. So we're going to start letting this dry a little bit. And while that's drying, I'm gonna show you what we've done in the past. We started off in June, and this was fun. How often do you use a I love you card? I mean, pretty often, right? So that was super fun. A lot of times they're a little tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of a silliness about them. I know in the future that I will start having series and having themes of things. We've talked about perhaps having a spiritually guided one. And there'll just be cards that you already have made up, and you can pass them out as needed, inspirational cards. This one says you're flamazing for that little flamingo. This was summertime, and we got this little crab, and he said, oh snap, so there's a myriad of reasons you can use that. Then I had a kindness package that had some utilitarian type things, and it was thank you and happy birthday. We did the happy birthday in celebration of my birthday, which also is September. It's also the birth date of my business as well. So these are two fun designs, and I actually glued some little beads on there for sprinkles, so that was fun. I'm missing fall for some reason. I think I mailed it to someone actually, and it had some fall leaves with all the beautiful colors. Thanksgiving was cutie pie. And Christmas I had a bonus with Hanukkah, but it was also Christmas, and we used kind of some non-traditional colors, which ironically I feel like I'm going to end up using here too, but that's fine. There's all kinds of possibilities, and you could use this on, like I said, wrapping paper or bookmarks, any kind of a gift idea. See, I just can't get this out of my throat here. So let's see. I think perhaps I would like to, I'm going to use a wider flat now, and I think I'm going to use this. I do love this blue. I'm going to get some over here. I'm just poking it right into the color, right into the pigment. There we go. And I want to get a good bit of it because I want to go around the edge, have a little bit of an edge showing through there. And I'm just going to kind of put the pigment right down the edge. It doesn't matter that there's words there. We're going to go over that anyway. I'm going to keep on going around the edge here with this. Am I still within the frame? Yep. And then I'm just going to take water, just pure, clear, clean water. And I'm going to start letting that kind of just wash. There we go. We're just picking up that pigment and letting it wash down the page. I'm going to go down this side. A few months ago on one of my lives, I talked about emails and how emails have just gotten to be out of control. Everybody sends you emails for things that you don't particularly want. And that was around the time that this Snail Mail of the Art of the Month Club kind of, you know, came about, because we really don't, there's a lot of things we really don't want in our email, even if we signed up for it, and that's okay. But this, I keep that in mind when I'm creating these and creating the email itself, so that it's short and sweet, easy to understand, and just a lot of fun for you to be able to jump in there, do something creative, and really enjoy yourself. Something that you can share. I'm just kind of working with this, so I don't mind if it has brush marks. And the reason I used such a large brush is because I wanted a lot of pigment to be available. Sometimes you get to a place in these paintings like this and you think, ugh, what a mess. That's called the messy middle, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I can tell you that ink will change a lot of, make a lot of problems go away. Let's see, this color is a little bit, it's a little bit more magenta. I don't think I want that. I think I want something brighter. How about a yellow? That would be different. So we want to make sure that it's not too wet on the sides here, because we don't want green leaching out of our sweater onto the card. So if you think that you would like to participate in the Art Card of the Month Club, which is called Snail Mail, it's just $5, and it comes straight to your email. No fanfare, no fuss. You just print it, copy it, paint it, mail it, and enjoy yourself. Have fun. This is really dry, so I'm going to kind of come in here and add some color here. Not really perfect. I don't really want it to look like a coloring book. I just want it to look kind of arty. And I think I'm going to put some here in the snowflake as well, because when we come back and put the ink in there, then it'll have a little bit more dimension to it. Okay. All right. I am going to put the heat gun on this, and I think I'm going to mute you just so you don't have to hear that for a second, and I'll be right back. I don't know. would go, it would not unmute. That's crazy. I've never had that happen. Laurie asked, what kind of brushes do you use? It looks like they keep the shape so well. It's true. That has something to do with your care of your paintbrush. When you finish using it, you need to wash it and reshape it. You see how that's at like a chisel shape? Reshape it and then lay it down flat on a piece of paper and let it dry completely. And that will help your brushes immensely. Just reshaping them as they dry. Look at how pointy that one is. So I'm going to put you back up here. I'm sorry about all that. I've never had it not unmute. It just absolutely just didn't want to. So, all right. I'm glad I could answer that for you, Laurie. So we're going to come down here again, and we're going to kind of finish this up. I put it on mute so that I could dry it. And I'm going to use a navy blue Posca pen to kind of make this look finished. When you draw a straight line like that, it does take practice, but if you put your pen down here and put your eyes over here where it's going, you will end up with a much nicer straight line. Okay? You gotta look where you're going, not where you've been. I guess that's kind of true in real life as well, isn't it? There we go. So, I've got that. And I'm gonna take my number 8 micron, and you have to make sure this is absolutely dry or you will ruin your pen. So I'm gonna kind of just go over this wording because that's not my strong point. And what's nice about doing this is that you can make sure that you've got it perfectly straight and the words are spelled correctly. There's nothing more disappointing than working on something really close. You get too close to it and you can't see what you're doing, and pretty soon you realize that you've got it misspelled. Oh, that's a heartbreak. So we're just kind of going, following these letters. And I will tell you that when you do this enough, pretty soon it actually becomes a little bit of a muscle memory. And you will begin to be able to actually write a little bit better. All right, so we're going to kind of go, a lot of times outlining things, less is more. So I'm not going to outline just everything. I'm going to leave some natural highlights. We're going to kind of do some stitching here around the bottom of the sweater. Well, the neck of the sweater is what I meant. And I'm going to come around here. I'm going to skip that yellow line. We are going to kind of differentiate the sleeve from the body. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure you really hold on to your paper. That can also ruin your design in a hurry if you get this wayward line. But this would be so cute. You could send this to one of your friends that's really suffering from some cold weather. There we go. And I'm going to kind of give it a line up here on this. Almost looks like a little Charlie Brown stripe in it. the snowflake. So we're gonna go make the cross and then make an X across the cross. I'm going to kind of make this part pretty well defined, and then we'll add some details that's kind of broken lines. So like I said, there are a lot of things going on at McNeely Garden Studios, especially new things in 2026. And I just wasn't doing a good job telling you what everything was. So I decided that we're gonna do that. I think maybe this needs a little defining right here. And I feel like it's just not complete enough. So I'm gonna start in the corners. And I'm going to put some dots, because you know me, dots always make things better. We're going to go along the edge with our blue Posca pen. Sometimes you can go on the corners and in the center, and that will help you kind of judge, make sure everything is equidistant. That in the center. Just makes this space not quite so long. You don't have to judge so far in advance. What else can we do? I think perhaps, I think it needs some white snowflakes. What do you think? Let's see. Now this is a white Posca pen, and since this is watercolor paper, this may soak in. It may need a couple layers. We can use the Uno Signaball. I say that backwards lately every time. Signo Uniball. And see, it's showing up on there a little bit better. You can also take, just white paint and sprinkle it on there. But that seems to be adding a lot of fun. You can even put it on that blue part. Let's put some on the snowflake itself. Doesn't have to be everywhere. There we go. And put that in an envelope. And you have something fun to send one of your friends. I'm going to bring you back up here. Here we go. So, having all kinds of problems today. So, that's the Snail Mail Art Card of the Month Club. And I can hook you up. It's an awful lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming and supporting me. And make your cards. I'll see you soon. Bye.